All right, Yi, great to have you here, all the way from Shanghai.
Yeah, great to be here. I was at Rebecca's Shanghai event a couple of years ago, actually. At that time, my company has probably fewer than 30 people, I guess. Now we are at 150.
All right. So Yi is the CEO and co-founder of a company called Liulishuo. And I'll just give a quick background on Liulishuo. It is an English learning app that is hugely popular right now in China. They have over 30 million users, and it's very sticky. The users keep coming back. And Liulishuo means in English, speak fluently. And essentially, the app uses gamification as well as social media and AI speech recognition to really reduce the learning time for its users. So with that, July 15, you raised your Series B at a valuation of $200 million. Right now you have 150 employees. So let's get into this. How does this app actually work? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so being a Chinese, learning the English the hard way and sort of studying and working abroad in the US for 6 years and going back, I didn't realize, there's this market in English learning before I actually went back in 2011 after quitting my job as a product manager at Google. And then, all of a sudden I realized English learning is such a big market and it just wasn't any good product in the market to learn English. It's a very service-oriented market where you just put the teachers, whether physically in the classroom or virtually online, in front of the students, and you have this, lessons, face-to-face lessons. And coming back from a technical background, I was like, is this really the best way to learn? And then, one of the apps, which was called Shopify, it's a hugely popular karaoke app that went, from this to like that within a week during May of 2012. That sort of gave me the inspiration. If people are so addicted to using the microphone and singing to their phones, maybe they can also start practicing English on their cell phones. That's sort of the aha moment.
So are these users speaking into their phones?
Exactly. So basically what Liulishuo started with is a very simple tool that basically gives you, we initially we released one dialogue per day, written by American writers, and you can listen to it, and you can speak, you can read and practice dialogues, and we give you real-time scoring feedback on your pronunciation, and we even have a way to sort of for you to role play it. You have the app will play role A, and you play role B, special roles and whatnot, and we've incorporated the gamification element, from games like Angry Birds. You clear levels, advance, you get points, you have leaderboards and everything. And that's basically what the app did or provided, at the very early days. Then we've sort of morphed in the last 3 years. It morphed from just a simple tool to China's largest and the most active language learners community. Now, and starting from this April, we started monetizing, and the revenue has been trending pretty well.
So now that you're monetizing, I'm sure you're attracting the attention of your competitors. Can you talk about some of your competitors? Online, there's other software packages out there. There's Duolingo, Rosetta Stone in America. There's the offline language schools. Talk about how you're disrupting these models with this app, and why is it so sticky for your users?
Sure. So there have been language schools all over the world, especially in China, for many years, and you have online language schools, like there's a company called 51 Talk, which just went public this past June in NYC, and a few other big companies. But as we see it, they have pretty much the same model, which is you spend a lot of money in advertising and user acquisition. You get the phone numbers, then you have a huge call center, maybe thousands of people, sales reps, in the call center, call the number and try to convert them into paying customers. You're either a customer or you're not. There's nothing in between. Okay, they have very high user acquisition cost and also very high, variable cost in serving these customers, because the only thing they sell is the teacher's time. They basically have an army of teaching force, either physically in the location or distributed around the world. But they basically carve out their time into 25 minutes or 50 minutes blocks and then sell them in bulk to the students. That's what their business model essentially is. Okay, whereas we spent no money in user acquisition at this point, so we grew organically since day one, and now we had over 30 million registered users. Well, partially thanks to Apple and a lot of the other app stores. That we are one of the Apple's App Store Essentials and the selected of the year, so we get a lot of free features on the homepage of the App Store. But anyway, we have a way to acquire users in volume for free by innovating and keep pushing the product experience and free high quality content. Like people here, they get very fresh updated content from the latest the TV shows and the news articles and all the kinds of topics that they're interested in. So they come and practice everything. But on the other hand, on the monetization side, we first and foremost sell interactive products, the courses. So imagine that we spent a few millions of dollars, and in 2 years' time, we've now recently launched, we believe, in the world's first deep learning powered adaptive English course on mobile phone. You have these characters. We have close to 8,000 illustrations and animations, and then every learner, you come in, you take a variable and adaptive level test, you put you at the right level at the starting point, then you have your own learning path. Every single student have a different personalized learning path. And we give a lot of feedback, and we keep them motivated along the way. And the students actually are also organizing WeChat groups. And we have community organizers, facilitators to sort of keep you engaged, you keep checking every day, and you have leaderboard and everything. So we're selling products instead of services, so the whole unit economics works much better.
Yeah, and talk about more about this WeChat integration. I mean, what keeps people motivated and coming back?
Well, that's definitely part of what we do. We do a lot of different things, but that's definitely part of what we do. And that's basically what Liulishuo is uniquely positioned. Like, in some sense, it's a very Silicon Valley-like company. All three co-founders, we went back from Silicon Valley. And so we have a team of close to like 60 engineers. They build top tier technologies and products. We have China in the world's most advanced, deep learning powered speech recognition engine entirely built in-house, and we have, some of the most advanced adaptive learning engine. That part is very Silicon. We have a very Silicon Valley, like engineering culture. Like we have hackathons, Hack Week and whatnot. We send tens of engineers each year to the Valley to attend, like from WWDC to Google I/O to other conferences, and we have speakers visiting from the Valley to China. But then on the other hand, we have a very localized operations team. So we do whatever that the Chinese users we do whatever to keep the Chinese users engaged. So that if you look at our community, it's like nothing else. It's very uniquely Chinese.
Yeah, actually, I thought this was an interesting point because you've built a business now that is you've got a local team, and I know you're here for a few days trying to recruit for a team you want to start here in Silicon Valley. How do you navigate and manage different cultures of your team in Shanghai and then your 2B team that's going to be here in Silicon Valley? How do you just maintain a corporate culture?
Yeah, any company culture evolves over time. It started organically, but you evolve over time. But in our case, we think first and foremost we want to build the ultimate, awesome learning experience for right now it's for mostly Chinese users, and next year we're going to go international, and that's the learners around the world. But to that end, we attract people with different backgrounds, different expertise, but they should all be bought into that vision. And then, for example, right now I'm recruiting for my, soon to open second office. We meet with content creators, AI experts, and even marketing and media experts here. And they all have this vision of creating something awesome. Basically they all bought into this vision of artificial intelligence and the learning, and even some kind of learning, lifelong learning lifestyle. This is sort of the whole of our vision. But we give, as long as they're bought into that bigger vision, we give them a lot of freedom to do their job in the way they feel the best. So if you walk into our office, you will see that office decorated pretty much like a Silicon Valley office. But if you talk to the engineers and talk to the operations people, you will observe their subculture. They have a different work schedule. Hours may be different. But when we have this cross-team interaction, they also speak the same language, so that things are getting moved over pretty efficiently. So I don't get that.
Yeah, no, that's great. So let's talk about future vision. Currently, it's much more than an app, it's a product, it's a platform. Talk about how you've heard of interest from enterprise, also from teaching more than just English, other languages. For example, I'm sure there's a lot of English speakers who want to practice their Chinese, like myself. And so talk about the expansion. And also we had a great panel here on VR. It seems like this could be a great application. Instead of having a live teacher at some point, I know we talked about this in your monetization funnel, but maybe replacing that with a VR teacher.
Totally, yeah. I think we are very lucky to be in this era of disruptive technologies emerging from all over, especially AR, VR. And we fundamentally believe the future of online education, the keywords are personalization and also effectiveness. So, for example, with the existing product that we recently launched, we can already reduce the learning time by more than half comparing to the industry standard, and that's according to third-party tests taken to our students before and after they've learned the program for 2 months, and we have the data published. But I think that's just the very beginning. We think people can learn much more efficiently and with far less time to be able to enable them to do more productive and interesting things. Right now, the pricing model for most of the learning products is really upside down. Think about it. People pay by hours of the teaching time. So the slower you learn, the more money you pay. Think about that. Okay? So we think that's coming to an end with the advancement of AI technology and with great content written by the best authors and the scholars and researchers, powered by these adaptive learning engine to serve to each and every one of students in a very much personalized way. That just get me super excited. And VR and AR, they're just a new medium for great content to reach the user audience. So we think we're definitely gonna be part of that wave, and then we look forward to work with the players in that field really to tag along and serve the learners in the years to come.
And you might actually have an English name now for Liulishuo.
Yes, we do have an English name for Liulishuo, but I'll save that for when we actually launch globally, which will be hopefully in the next coming month.
Okay, and let me report it, please, at Silicon Dragon.
All right.